Hey, Christian Caveman back here. Oh, let's see what we got. Doing a little clay pot, planting pot heater. And what we're going to do here is take a bolt with a square top. I like putting a little one right there, and then a bigger one to keep a space, and I'll show you what that's for here in a minute. But basically, put that down in the big pot. Run a smaller pot right down in it. And I'm going to use a 7/16 socket just for a spacer, so it's not so hard to get to, and it also works as a heat sink in there after everything heats up. And then you don't have to use no major tools for this. Just snug it up, kind of move things around a little bit. There it is. Okay, got the space right there that I'm showing you for a reason. And then over here, right on top of my cast iron skillet, I just put up some wood blocks. You can use anything. Now this can work in a tent or anything, and get the non-glazed because it'll burn off stuff. These are just regular clay pots. But anyways, what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna cheat, we're gonna throw a quick little candle in there. There's the candle, and that just goes right over the top. And in about 10-15 minutes, you get some good little candles that burn for 2-3 hours. This heats up so awesome. And that clay retains the heat. And, oh, you can't see the top here. Let me show you. See how that lip is there? Well, I put that spacer in there for a reason, because you can use about anything. This is just a spoon, but that's so you could pick it up, and you can use a big fork, you know, with a side, or 2 knives, or a stick with a Y. But look at that, easily pick up. But that is now heating up, and it literally will be like an oven in 10 minutes. And you can do this in your tent. You can, in a little shelter, anything. I mean, yeah, normally you wouldn't pack this stuff around with you, but if you got it, you got a little camper, got a tent, if you're living in a situation where, even in your house, you got a candle, it's not too warm yet, there it is, and this heats up so nice. And what I did on top, this is going to let a little heat out. Right here, I drilled 2 holes, real small holes, for a smaller one to sit on top, which has a hole, and you can put another bolt in there. I just put a penny, and it'll hold that heat in, and this will be a hand warmer. So you can just pull this off, warm your hands if it's cold. That is heating up pretty good. Yeah, about 10 minutes, and then it lasts. This literally the heat reminiscing off the ambient temperature that it puts off. I mean, it turns the temperature around it within at least a 5x5 area so much. It's almost like the old school, which you can do with this pan as well. Putting coals underneath your sleeping bag out in the sticks, basically. It heats up and it is so warm. And if you're close to it, and it's not going to burn you, you know, as long as you don't got wind coming in to blow out the... Let's see if I can pick it up. See, candle's still burning there. And it's getting warm. But it takes about 10 minutes or so. But yeah, you can do the same thing with coals with an old pan or even something like this. Right on the ground, in your tent. If you have a setup like this, you can do this right in your tent. Because there's no bad fumes coming out of it. It's just burning a candle. So this will heat up 2-3 man tent. Once it gets heated up, even in cold weather, it'll heat it up so well. And like I said, I just did this for fun. When this heats up, it's a little hand warmer, you know. It's got a hole in the bottom too, but put a penny over it, keep that heat that comes out of these two little guys right there. And this bolt does get hot. Ooh, it's warming. Because of that heat sink like socket that I put in there. So that's metal too. And of course, when it gets cold, it's cold. But when it gets hot, it gets hot. So it's, yeah, that's heating up first more than most of it. So yeah, that's already getting warm. But like I said, that's why I put that little bit of a spacer with that square head on there, so I could either do something like this, you know, and you got to be careful, of course. You could pick it up, or you can use a pair of pliers or whatever. But normally you just get it set into place and you're good to go for a while. Candle can burn out. It can burn for a while. You get anything that burns a while there. One of these little candles that have some burn time to them. And this little guy, there's the little hand warmer, penny top. But yeah, it's already warming up. But anyways, little clay pot heater, kind of a survival thing, or you literally can save on a whole bunch of energy just doing something like this, or in a bad situation. You know, power goes out. This, you got candles for light, and they already put off heat. If your power's off and it's electric, well, if you got candles around in a couple pots, even in your house, here you go. A heater that, I wish I had my thermometer here. Oh, gosh, couldn't find it, and I wanted to put that to it, but boy, this thing, they start heating up, and once they get warm, it puts off some serious heat. And then even if you blow the candle out or take it out, once it gets heated up, that heat just continues. It just stays there for a long time, even in cold situations. You know, it puts off heat. So once an area gets heated with that ambient temperature like that, it it can hold out pretty good, especially in a tent. I would say that this is a really neat and fun thing to do, like in a tent or even a small camper or something where you don't want to burn a bunch of propane or things like that, and you got a candle and a couple of these you throw in. It's kind of a fun thing to do. So, oh yeah, that's warming up. And like I said, my little hand warmer deal. Anyways, I just wanted to show you that little kind of homemade survival heater with a candle and some clay pots. I hope you like it. Share, hit that like button, subscribe. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Christian Caveman out.